Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the lecture on Off Studies by Francis Bacon. And Off Studies, it is about reading books. Bacon explains the uses of reading. And 3 points we have discussed in the last week regarding Off Studies. Bacon says that studies serve for delight, ornament and ability. I told you about the epigrammatic style of Bacon. He uses short sentences full of meaning. Our studies gives a person delight. Reading books gives a person immense joy, especially if you are leading a retired life or a lonely life. And it adds to your personality like an ornament. It improves your efficiency. That is the first point that is discussed by Bacon. And then again he says that natural abilities are like garden plants which needs occasional pruning to be in good shape. And so your personality is perfected by learning, by reading. And then he talks about the advantages of studies. But he again points out that there are some negative sides for reading. The first point is that some people spend too much time on reading, and this creates a sort of laziness in the reader, a type of escapism from the daily activities of life, and an evasion of responsibilities. And so, it creates laziness in the reader. There should be a balancing. One should be up to date in one's duties and responsibilities. But at the same time, one should find time for reading. Because reading improves your personality a lot. And a second defect noted by learned men is that some people, they are well-read, well-informed. But their problem is that they make a display of their learning. That is, when they talk with others, deliberately they will try to exhibit their scholarship. Like people quoting from great texts like Shakespeare, even on unnecessary occasions. And so that is the second defect noted by Bacon. And then Bacon says that one should always remember that one, by reading books, can gain an average knowledge of everything under the sun. We can be well informed by reading different types of books. But remember, bookish knowledge can give you, or by reading, you are getting bookish knowledge. But what you need in life is wisdom. And as I told you earlier, wisdom is knowledge plus experience. Our experience is very important. If you want to perform things in a better way, definitely you need experience. And then these points we have already mentioned in the last class. And then the next point is that Bacon describes how different people view learned people. What is the attitude of people towards men of learning? towards well-read people? Or how do different people view studies? That is the next point. And Bacon says that simple people, they admire men of learning. Simple people, innocent people, and they look with great respect on learned men. They have great appreciation for learned people, and they take for granted whatever these well-read people say. And the second type of people, Bacon calls them crafty men. Crafty men means cunning men. Cunning people, they don't appreciate studies. They have only contempt for studies and learned people. And Bacon says that the third category is the wise men. And the wise men use studies properly. They know how much importance they should give to bookish knowledge. They know how to have a proper balance between things. And so, Bacon says that simple men admire studies, crafty men contempt studies, and wise men use them properly. And so, wise people, intelligent people, if they are well-read, they will be able to tackle the affairs very efficiently. And then the fifth point is that Bacon makes a differentiation between books. Actually, he makes a differentiation between books. And then he says that some books are to be tasted, some are to be swallowed, and some are to be chewed and digested. And what is this usage? Bacon says that some books are to be tasted. That is, if you want to understand the standard of a book, you needn't have to read each and every line. After reading 8 to 10 pages, you will understand whether the book is good or not. And if it is not good, you can stop reading. You needn't have to waste your time and energy on reading a useless book. That is the meaning of saying some books are to be tasted. If you want to know the taste of a dish, you needn't have to eat the entire dish. You need to put a little on your tongue. That is enough. And so, some books are to be tasted. Some books should be read only in a few pages. And then you can make an assessment of the book. If it is good, continue reading, or else you can ignore it. Some books are to be swallowed. It means some books doesn't need very careful reading. You are getting an overall idea even by skipping pages and lines. For example, in travelogues, a lot of descriptions are there. You needn't have to read the entire text to get an idea of the text. And so, some books are to be swallowed. See, when you swallow a food item, you don't get the taste of it. And what you are getting is an overall taste. Similarly, some books can be read without much attention. And then the third type of books, Bacon says that some books are to be chewed and digested. The meaning is that every line and every word is important. You cannot even live a single line without giving much attention to that. And so, this is a very important point which Bacon mentions in the essay. He says that a reader, an intelligent reader, should be making this distinction between books. Some books are to be tasted, some are to be swallowed, some are to be chewed and digested. And then again he says that in the case of less important books, you can even appoint a deputy to read for you the book. You can sit in a very leisurely manner and just listen. That is enough in the case of less important books. And then he says that in the case of some books, you need to know only the synopsis. You know that regarding great works in literature, the synopsis you will get in the masterpieces of English literature and so on. And see, for example, if you have to study a tragedy by Shakespeare, say King Lear, and imagine that King Lear is meant for your detailed study. But remember, Shakespeare had written plenty of other tragedies like Macbeth, Othello, Hamlet, and so on. You needn't have to read all of them to understand Shakespeare's King Lear. And so what you can do is that regarding Hamlet and Othello and other major tragedies, try to read only the synopsis. Or you can get the summary from standard texts. And then you will get an overall idea of the other tragedies. And you need to concentrate only on your detailed text, King Lear. But again, Bacon says that by reading a summary of a text, you won't be getting real enjoyment. If you want to get real enjoyment, you should read the book completely. And again, he makes a comparison. He says that distilled water, which you get in the lab, it is H2O like ordinary water. But this distilled water doesn't have the real taste of water. And so the same difference is there. By reading a summary, you will get a gist of the text, but you won't be getting full enjoyment. And then Bacon quickly passes on to another statement. He says that reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. This is another important statement. See, the sentences are very short, but brimming with meaning. Bacon says that, that is, reading maketh a full man. Reading makes you well informed of everything around you. And if you are well informed, very confidently you can discuss matters with other people. You can talk to anybody without any sense of inferiority. And so reading makes you well informed and confident. Conference makes you a ready man. Means if you can participate in debates and discussions, you will become quick-witted, will be able to give ready-made answers to all the questions asked to you. And so conference makes you a ready man. It makes you quick-witted. And writing makes you an exact man. Especially if you don't have an excellent memory. It is always very good to practice writing. And when you write things, the things are getting imprinted in your mind and brain. And you will remember things for a longer period. And so that is the suggestion made by Bacon.